Hello YouTube, welcome to a Civ 7 video where we're playing as Isabella. My name is Darkspark156, you can call me Caleb. We're playing as Isabella as the Mayans, and let's get ahead and jump right in. We got the redwood forest right here. We turn on the settler view, which will automatically turn on yields and resources. We see we have a decision to make. So if you don't know, not settling on freshwater gives you a -5 happiness debuff. And so we have to decide if we want to settle on this freshwater or not. And I'm actually not a particularly big fan of settling my capital on the coast. I actually like to be a couple tiles in. I don't mind having access to the coast. I think it's beneficial. And I like settling a coastal city at some point. I don't want my capital there because it cuts the amount of usable tiles you have by quite a bit. Almost in half, right? Like if I settle here, I can grow out this way and I can place districts and tiles and I can work production tiles here. But all of these tiles are just going to be growth tiles. There's not really any production out in the water, aside from maybe like a resource I can't think of, like what does pearls give? I can't remember. So I'm actually not a big fan of it. I'm thinking we come over and settle here. This gives us good access to culture and happiness buildings here, because this is a natural wonder, so this will be +2 culture, +2 happiness building spots here, so we can put both of those here. And we have an okay resource science or production buildings here and here, and then here's a really good gardens and market building. And if all that, everything I'm saying makes no sense, I will explain further. But first, let's pick where we're going to settle. We want to put those buildings in those spots, so let's probably just go settle right next to this elephant. Let's just settle here. We are playing as the Mayans, and as a reminder, we have a unique quarter, the Uyabil Kua. I'm sure I butchered that, I'm sorry. Which has the Jala and the Kuna. Probably also butchered that. The unique quarter is kind of busted. Every time you research a tech, you get 15% of that tech's as production. I said that kind of weird. It's kind of weird and confusing. When I finish, well, I'll explain in a second. Let's go ahead and get moved over to here and settle next turn. Whenever I finish a technology, let's settle. Ooh, this is a very good spot. Pearls does not give production, it gives happiness. Let's turn yields on. Let's make a scout or jaguar search for the Mayans. This is now a really good science spot, +3 science. Whenever I finish a technology, right, so I'm going to pick a technology to research, which we're going to pick animal husbandry for the +1 production on camps and woodcutters, as well as the access to the saw pit. So if I have 7 turns till this tech is researched. So when this tech is researched, if I had the unique quarter, I would get 15% of the total science cost as production. Practically speaking, and an easy way to calculate exactly how much that'll be, is you just take your science per turn and multiply it by 15%. So sure, 15% of 12 science is not very much, but when we start getting up there and pushing into the hundreds of science, like that's an easy 15 production. 200 science, 30 production, which is a lot of production, especially mid to late game in the exploration and modern age. I haven't played a lot of the modern age, or really any of the modern age, so you'll have to bear with me when we get there. But so we're playing as the Mayans because I really want to play with them. I just have this feeling that they're going to get nerfed here soon. They're very, very strong. A lot of people are talking about them. I have a feeling they're going to get patched. I just have a gut feeling patch 1.1 is coming. We're going to grow into the natural wonder, and you'll notice, wait, Caleb, there's 2 gold there. I don't remember that 2 gold before, and quite right you would be. Our mementos are Groma for the expansionist attribute, and Queen's Jewelry for +2 gold on natural wonders. And because we're Isabella, that 2 gold is actually doubled to 4 gold when we work the tile. So look at this tile we're working. 4 food, 4 production, 4 gold, 4 happiness. Oh yeah, we're rolling in the yields. The other one I picked was the expansionist memento because this +25 production towards settlers. Really good, very strong. Probably the best first point possible. Let's go and grab another Jaguar Slayer. So if we talk about city building again for a second. okay. If we talk about city building again for a second, yeah, we want to build our culture and happiness buildings here. This is a vegetated tile, so I'm thinking I'm gonna put the unique quarter here, and we're gonna put the production building. There's not, unless like one of these two is production, we're probably gonna put it here. If this is a resource, we'll put it here. Otherwise, we'll just gotta put it here because we want to chain over to here because this is a pretty good guard spot. Oh, this is an even better. No, this is 4. This is 3. Yeah, this is a wait 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is a really good garden spot. Gardens market spot because they get adjacency for coast and navigable rivers, which makes this spot also good as a +3. This is a +4, slightly better. This is a +3. Getting access to this tile is a little bit awkward. We go production building, warehouse building, and then the gardens. We don't want the granary. We're not actually gonna have that many farms if we just like give a cursory look. Like we said, we're gonna put buildings, districts here, here, and maybe here. If you don't know, farms are built on flat terrains with no vegetation, so like here would be a farm, here would be a farm, and here would be a farm. We're not looking to build districts on this one. I'm not interested in building a farm here. I'd much rather work these vegetated terrains and this wonder. I don't imagine we're going to work very many, if any, farms. The other thing the granary gives is food on pastures and plantations. This is a camp, I believe, and this is a boat, and this is a quarry or a mine. So I'm actually really not interested in building a granary. You might say, but you could just build it for free in your capital. And while that is kind of true, I actually want to build the saw pit there. Because as we were just talking about, like the adjacent spots all have a particular building I want. I want this to be the monument. I want this to be our unique quarter because it's a vegetated tile. If you didn't know, the kuna of the quarter gets a +2 science if it's placed on vegetation. So that's +5 science. And the jaw log gets a culture agency for quarters. So if we place it right here, we're gonna quarter here, and quarter here, and potentially one here as well with the production building, right? So that'll be next to 4 quarters. So that'll be +4 culture, +5 science. Seems really good. So that's what I'm leaning towards. Unique quarter here. So let's go ahead. If like this tile was unfortunate, not lucky. Let's make. Usually I like to make 1 warrior, but the Jaguar Slayer has 20 combat strength. I don't know if there's like a reason to. Alright, let's try placing one of these traps. Does it take a movement point? Wait, well, let's grab this first. So normally I would probably take the gold, but we're already super rich. So I'd rather grab the production, although I don't really need the production because I don't really have anything to produce. Right, we're making a 3rd scout here because we don't need the granary. We still have 4 more turns until we can unlock the warehouse building we want. 9 production. So that's 9, 18, 20. That's 36 production needed for the scout. We met Napoleon. Hello, Napoleon. We will be friendly with you. We don't have a lot of influence, but hello, we'll be friendly. So I mean, this is like half, but like we really don't want it to go down to 2 turns because we'd rather just. So we're just gonna take their money. Feels really weird because like production's probably more beneficial. Let's. So how does this work? Let's go here and then place the trap. It does take a movement. We're once again just going to move again towards the wonder. Do I have a preference on this? Let's just do this one. Let's come here and click the explore button. So we have an enemy scout, which I didn't notice last time, which I could just fight because my scout has melee strength and combat strength. I feel like I'm more interested in exploring. It is from, I do, if you could not do that, I would like to see, like to kind of, so with this guy, I want to leave the coast in sight. I'm trying to look at, this is from, if you look down under where it says scout about right here, it says it's from the Nukuleke village, so we're on the look for it. I don't know off the top of my head what kind of village that is. Like, if I feel like if you get really good, you can actually learn what city states are what just from their name. Let's put a turn of production into the warrior. I don't think we want a fourth scout with someone going off here. He's going down here. This thin strip, very easy to defend, especially if we get a boat. Boats are very strong in the Antiquity Age because they can bombard or barrage the tiles, so super strong. And it does a lot of damage too. Let's put a turn of warrior, a turn of work into the warrior. I guess the upside to the warrior is you can upgrade them. The Jaguar Scouts has no upgrades. So we can now, we're gonna take this out. And so if we remember, I said I don't really have anywhere to put this, which is why we said we're gonna put it in the palace, because this is a science building, unique quarter, production building. I guess if we put the production building here, this is actually a spot we can put it. Because the garden, this is a good spot for the gardens. And this is an okay spot. I mean, this is a, like we put the gardens here, then we can get a lighthouse here or here. We'll have to put a fishing quay here to connect. So maybe I do actually want to build it here. Because I was originally going to put production here, but because we want to put quarters. And when I'm saying production and science, you might be like, but Caleb, it's no longer like strict districts like in Civ 6. Yeah, but typically you'll put your two districts together, your two buildings of the same type together, because every age there's two of the building, right? There's the library for 2 science, then down here there's also the academy. There's the monument and I think it's here, the amphitheater. There's still 2 buildings of each type, and so you're likely to put them in the same district. Or the one of similar adjacencies. So if you also didn't know that, the science building, production for our extra science for resources and wonders, and then if we look at a production building like the barracks, +1 production for resources and wonders. I guess I should be a little bit careful. I'm calling the barracks a production building. It's technically a military building. If you look, it says that right under where it says +1 production for each adjacent wonder. It says Antiquity Military Building. It's technically a military building, but it does just give straight up production. It doesn't give like production towards units like it has in past civs. Like in Civ 6, I think if you built the encampment, it gave you only production towards units. I think I might be misremembering that. So I'm calling it a production building for purposes of like Benjamin Franklin, who cares about put science on production buildings. It's technically not, but there is 2. There's the blacksmith and the barracks in this age, which are both the production buildings, and that's it. There's not another one. There's 2 happiness buildings: the villa and the arena, the monument, and the amphitheater. And then for food, there's the garden and the bath. The bath has to be placed on a river, and then for the money, there's the market and the lighthouse. So let's go ahead and grow. We're gonna once again so I guess there's now an argument to grab like this tile, which is a little bit weird. This tile, and you might find that a little bit strange, because like this tile is so juicy. It'll be 4 food, 4 production, 4 golden, 4 happiness. And you're right, that's insane. But like, let's not forget about these yields. Like, this is a science and 2 culture. Like, the 1 food, 1 production, and only 1 happiness are worse than this. But it gives me an extra science and 2 culture. That 1 science, that 2 culture is a 20% increase in my culture. Like, that's a lot this early. So it might be worth it to build here. We're definitely going to build here at some point. We're just not in that big of a rush. So I think I'm actually leaning towards working this tile. I was going to work this one, but this tile is just strictly better than this tile, and I definitely want the elephants at some point. So I think we're going to do that. You might think it's crazy not grabbing this insanely good productive food tile, and you might be right. That might be better. I'm gonna build the saw pit. It's still gonna take me 5 turns. I'm gonna research. I'm gonna wait for a second. 'Cause you might be onto something here. Not grow. I want to look at my. So if you didn't know, you can actually click like. I click this. Yeah, it pulls it up. So we can immediately go into masonry to go get the monument and really boost up our culture. We're 13 turns away from this though. We're gonna grow right now. And then we're gonna grow again in, oh, excuse me, we're gonna grow again in 6 turns. And it'll actually be a little bit longer than 6 turns because if you didn't know, when you build a building, it actually ups your population. We're on a population of 4. So once we go to the next, once we go to population 5, we unlock settlers, and we're gonna want to immediately pump out settlers. So we actually have a couple turns before we need to build more buildings. Which I mean, this production will be good for pumping out settlers though as well. So maybe we do work this tile for the 4 production, because that's a lot. Like we have 13 production, an extra 4 production will bring us to 17. That's almost a 25% increase. And I mean, more gold is always good. More happiness gives us to our celebration quicker. Yeah, I've talked myself into it. We're gonna work this tile. We'll work this one next. Now the question is, do we go into the monument or do we go pottery to try to go get writing? This UI is pretty misleading, but you do not need sailing for writing, just pottery. Similarly, you just need animal husbandry for masonry, which seems not rightly named. You would think like pottery and masonry both deal with like pottery is made with clay, masonry is like stone, which feels like the natural evolution, but that's not what we're here to talk about. I'm not here to critique that, although critiques are fair. We're not working any mines or quarries, so I'm less high on this. Similarly, we're not working any plantations or clay pits or mines or quarries for the brickyard, but we can go get this. But I think I am on go get masonry, be able to get the monument, because so for the culture game, we're gonna get mysticism. We're probably gonna delay disciple unless Napoleon here gets aggressive. If Napoleon gets aggressive, we'll go into it. I can't show you the Mayan tree now, but we want to unlock their unique district and quarter immediately. So I'm actually totally good here just going into masonry. Now we have to have a decision. Do we want to go north or do we want to go south with this scout? There's a small chance that this is a giant gulf, which would be really cool, and that this loops and connects like almost back. So I guess this could be a gulf even if it doesn't connect. It probably technically counts as a gulf. So I'm actually gonna go, let's bring this guy a little bit more south. Okay. Oh, interesting. This tile is a little bit awkward with fractal. I say, oh, okay, well that makes our decision easy. We found a bad guy. We found Chan or Shan of the Chimu. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody. I'm trying not to offend you and I'm trying to pronounce your stuff right. Let's just walk away from that. So next turn we'll take a step and click the discover button. Alright, let's see. Let's do the scout first. I'm very curious. Let's come down here. Yeah, so this is my problem with fractal, is this coastal tile. Like I see why people like it. Like this is cool generation. This like golf. Like I get why people like it compared to just like the square that is other maps. This is why I don't like fractal. Like this is such a like this should not be a coast tile. Like this should be a tundra tile. Like this coast tile is so weird. I guess it makes for like a better adjacency, but like either this or this should one of these 4 should be a coast tile or this should be a coast tile. So we're take a step and then do the reveal button. Let's see. Go here, push the reveal button. I'm highly interested if this has like it'd be really easy to say this is probably the end. And it probably is because you can actually see a little bit of water here, but you can't see it. You can see it here as well. You can actually, I think, tell that this is the end. Unless the fog of war is really good at obscure. Well, I'm not sure. I guess that's probably land adjacent. That looks like it's probably water. But there's a chance, like, right, like if we were coming from this direction, we would, and we just saw these 3 tiles, we'd be like, oh, or just saw this tile, these 3 tiles, we'd be like, oh yeah, there's nothing left, but then strip into the whole section, so. Wow, so so for a second I thought this was a +3 adjacency, but it's not. Also, I should not have revealed there, I should have grabbed the campfire. More decisions. Let's go this way. I see an independent people I'd like to greet. I'm 100% taking 60 culture. Culture early on is one of the most important things. I just said culture is one of the most important things. We're going to support this. It's important to note we have 90, so it's easy to support this. If we had 70, 60 or 70, it's like dangerous. Because we have to decide, because if we take it, then we don't have enough culture to do a friendly greeting when we meet another AI. So like I said, we're going to go to mysticism to get a pantheon, because getting a pantheon is important. But then we're going to go straight into the reign of shock. I think that's how you pronounce it, for the Kuna. And that'll be beneficial. Getting a pantheon right away, I guess, without having a spot for it, we have this tile. We can place whatever we want on this tile because we changed our mind. We're going to put the production over here. Science, production, unique, happiness or culture, garden, whatever, fishing quest, lighthouse, something like that here. Or, yeah, so I think we do want to get mysticism. We'll choose a government. Government decision is weird. Early on when I was playing, I was just like perma-spamming oligarchy because I thought plus 20% food was like nutty. After playing with it for a while, I don't think it's necessarily that good. Plus 30% production also on buildings is also okay. It's not insane, it's not terrible. Of the 20% bonuses to a thing, I think 20% science is the strongest. But for the production boost, I think it's the weakest. Science is hard to come by, so being able to get 20% science is really good. But plus 30% production towards infantry units is pretty mediocre unless you're at war. But even if you're at war, you might be producing commanders, you might be producing ranged units, cavalry units. It's only infantry units. It's not all military units, only infantry. So, I'm kind of Oligarchy might still be just the generic good and best option, though I might try Classical Republic here. Being able 20% culture is good, progress to the culture tree is pretty nice, and the production towards wonders is also nice. So I already said science is hard to come by. Production is king is a phrase you might have heard before. I think it's very true. So we have a decision. We can ask for open borders. We can just skirt around. We can try to come back down towards Shenzhen, which I'm not, or Shenzhen. I'm not a fan of that one. I don't think I want to add open borders 25 yet. Don't want to do that either. So let's just come across. Okay. Something I'm not very good at, but you really want to move your scouts one square at a time as you reveal the fog of war. So I don't have enough to support it, but I'd much rather, even if I could, I wouldn't. I'd much rather get 2 gold per turn. As soon as we hit 5 population, we're gonna be able to buy a settler. Oh hey, look, we hit 5 population. And you see we are 1 turn away from growing in, and you might be like, wait, we were just on 4. I think I said this earlier or hinted at it earlier. When you produce a building, the game I don't think tells you this anymore, I just learned this, you actually get another citizen. So we just finished building, this is a very handy screen by the way, we just built the saw pit, which means because we built a building, our population went up from 4 to 5. When your population grows, however, you do not remove the food you've stockpiled. That is, we've been producing 17 food per turn, and the food needed to grow population went up, but the amount of food we had already gathered towards that number, because this number went higher because we grew a population, but the number we had stockpiled did not go up, did not change. It stayed. We'd been producing food for 5 turns. We don't lose that food. It just, instead of growing, we're now 1 turn away, which I think we would have been anyways, instead of growing at the same time. So a little bit awkward. Oh, we can build a settler. We have so much production. We're going to 2-turn a settler. I was going to just buy 2 settlers. But like, I'm still 8 turns away from masonry. 6 turns away from being able to place my altar. I think I'm better off using my production dish to make 2 settlers and a haluchi. I think that's how you pronounce it. Again, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing these things. So now we're growing, and I am definitely just working this tile. 1 food, 2 production, a science, 2 culture, and a happiness. Bang. Cuts this down to 5, which is pretty good. Maybe now we do buy a settler. Let's talk about where we're bringing the settler. So I'm thinking we're pretty alone on this section of land. We're gonna bring the settler to explore over here. We have another decision, so we gotta figure out what we're doing with this guy. This could just be done. This could open up into like a straightaway that opens into more land. Based on the fact that this is open. Oh shit, there's coast here and there is land here. This could just open up. I don't remember. It probably does. I don't remember if Fractal has middle islands, because that could be a middle island thing. I don't think it is though. Oh man. Decisions. This guy's got this still on lockdown for now. Let's bring this guy down here. I would like to befriend these guys when I get the chance. The science guys are good. So like I said, let's talk about this settler. Where are we going to bring it? And so a general rule is we want to make sure our capital has all the space. The maximum space it can. So we don't want to settle. We want to settle at least like 6 tiles away. Like 1, 2, 3, right? The capital could build all the way out to here if it's so desired. 1, 2, 3. So if we settled here, we'd be taking these tiles. If we settled here and we grabbed this tile, we would culture bomb this tile and take it from the capital. The other thing we can look at is like adjacencies. Like if we placed a capital, like I think here, later on if we ever made it a city, this is a good science. This is a good science building spot. I'm not very good at knowing where to place my towns or when to know to upgrade to a city, or what makes a good town candidate to upgrade. And because it's something you want to be like mindful of, I think, when you start, because it's important what tiles you work. If this is just going to be a town, I'm more interested in working food tiles, but if this is going to be a city, I'm more interested in working production tiles. So, but you also want towns to be supported by, or you want your cities to be supported by towns. So like this one being a city, like if I decided to build it here or here, 1, 2, 3, I probably wouldn't build it here because that's probably a little too close. Probably build it like here if I was going to make it a city. If I was going to make it a town, I would want to work these coastal tiles, build a fishing quay, But if I'm going to make it a city, I'm more interested in working like these tundra tiles and these salt and jade tiles, because unlike in Civ 6 where you could build improvements on something and then open up your city menu and change your focus of your town, you can't do that. You're stuck with what you got. That said, I do like this position. If we ever make it a city, we have a good production spot. We have a pretty good, we have an okay garden spot right here at +3. We have a +1 production spot. No mountains nearby, so nothing except, well, I guess there's a mountain way over here, but there's no way I'm getting to it. That said, happiness and culture buildings are less important. There's a lot of random tiles that give culture. Same for happiness. Science, less so. So I think we're going to come down here and settle this spot with the idea this might be a city later on. I think if we settle here, I think it's the 1, 2, yeah, you can't settle a city within 3, so if we settle here, 1, 2, 3, we do block off from getting like a little far, like this is a nice like farming village. We got this, lots of resources down here. We got 2 jades. I really want to be able to place this city to the town, which means I think I want to go here instead, because that still lets me place this one. Okay, so now what's the difference between these 2 tiles? If I instead here or here. Well, regardless, we can start moving down towards that. Let's move one and let's just... So we found Nukaleka, or something like that. Again, sorry if I'm pronouncing things incorrectly. We are 4 turns away from the altar, which is something we can use our production for. So we can build another settler, which we want to do. We want to be constantly capped out. We can come down here and make sure there's nothing here, or we can just keep exploring here. I like to just, I think, keep my bases covered. We can keep moving this way. Move this way. Move this way. I like that you can just walk through independent people. Let's go to the next turn. Let's just keep it on. Did not mean to click that. We have met Hamiko, the High Shaman. We want to give a friendly greeting. We're in a really awkward spot if she decides to do something with us, an endeavor with us. Oh, look at this. Okay, this is really awkward. We can't cross here because we don't have fishing. But there is stuff over there. Still have one more turn before we have to decide. Oh, it's not looking good. It looks like we should have brought this guy over. So I could have just come down and grabbed this, like I had said I wanted to. Oh, we have a Napoleon here. I think we want to just, like, forward settle him a little bit. Get a defensive building. This is a little far. This straight is a super good defensive point. So I could settle down here. It's a little close to the capital. 1, 2. This is the 3rd tile. So if we settled here, we couldn't claim this tile, or we would steal a tile. And we wanted to place our gardens on this tile. So it looks like we're going to be more out here. It's a little bit precarious. It should be fine though. So the reason I'm settling here, and there's a strong argument that this should have been my first settlement. I just wasn't thinking about that. I was looking at all this free land. But that's just it. It's free land. I didn't know for sure if it was free land. Still not convinced it's completely free. Okay. Well, that's that. Okay, we need to start bringing this guy back. Okay, decision time now. This tile or this tile? And this is one of those decisions that impacts the rest of the game, and you kind of just have to make a decision. This tile, 1, 2, 3. It's pretty much the same. placing our science building here. So I don't know why, but I'm leaning towards the bog, even though the bog is a better tile to work than just flat. I don't know why I'm leaning towards that. I really probably shouldn't be. I should probably want to settle here. There's something that just is like telling me this is a better spot, but I'm not. I don't know what the logic is. My logic says I think I should do this tile, so I just have access. This is a bog, which means I think it'll be a clay pit. Wet tiles become clay pits. Clay pits is a production tile. Versus this would be a farm if it was an improvement, although it'd probably just be a warehouse building, if we're being honest. There's an argument for killing these people, dispersing them so we can get a settlement over here as a town to support, because it's looking like this is probably going to be a city. Although, if this was instead a town, there's just a lot of production. And there's a decent amount of production. The reason I said there's a lot of production, by the way, is there's vegetated tiles, which become woodcutters, which are production. There's wet tiles, which become, wet tiles, which become clay pits. And then there's salt and jade, which are both mines or quarries, I can't remember which are also production. So that's why I'm saying there's a lot of production. Maybe I'm wrong, like this is just a farm tile. This is a clay pit. Woodcutter, so. Well, let's make our unique unit. I'm trailing in civics. But I'm not. I'm getting 18 culture, he's getting 12. I don't know what the higher difficulties get. Oh, hold on, I have to cut, I'll be right back.
There is another world.
Oh, I've been talking while muted. I'm so sorry about that, friends. Lost all that audio. Just to to summarize what happened, I decided to go with my brain instead of my gut to settle this tile. I tried to point out when I built the saw pit, we went from 2 to 3 population, which I believe changed us from 6 to 8 turns to grow. So we should really be building or buying buildings in towns after they hit 7 population. I don't think you want to build them right away. You want to, I think you want to be working like 7 improvements before you do that. Because right now we're a 3 population city, but we only have 1 improvement because we have a building. Right, we start with 1, which is this growth, and then 2 was the saw pit. I guess we started with, wait, I don't know, math is hard, man. We're working towards 3, is that what the 3 means? Or we already have 3? No, we have 3 citizens, so we start with 1. And we immediately grew in place of this improvement, and then, interesting, we immediately grew to 2 population. City Patron Goddess is really strong, but somebody already has it, which is ridiculous. Probably Hamiko. Holy smokes, 30 culture, 21 science. She is popping off. Plus 20% culture, minus 10% science. She's not caring about that minus 10% science debuff. She's playing as the Khmer or Kamai or something like that. Okay, so I think this one is really good. I think this one is pretty good. I think this one is pretty good. The IA is taking all the good ones. I think this is not bad. God of Wisdom. God of the Sun is like a general catch-all. It's not bad. It's not great. This one, I think. So I think God of Wisdom, I think, is better than God of Festivals because, again, we've talked about it's kind of easy to just randomly and in weird spots get culture, whereas it's a lot harder to get that, to get the same for science. God of Wisdom, right, if we just think in our capital, we'll place down the altar somewhere and we'll have 1 quarter, 2 quarter, 3 quarter, 4 quarter, 5 quarters, 6 quarters. Like that's 6 science. That's a lot of science. Oral Tradition I thought was good, but you have to build an altar first, and at this point we've already built our 2 settlers, so like it's kind of slow. Culture is not bad. Culture we said is probably not good, not as good as the science when it gets outclassed, because culture is easy to generate, especially with this nice juicy +2 culture building spot. Food on farms, pastures, and plantations. I feel like this one could be really good if you're going to go for a really tall build, because you can build altars in towns. If we look at this, we could buy an altar. So you can like just go for a super bread, like all of the food on your towns, and just have super giant food production. Could be an interesting game to go for, like interesting deal on the Khmer or Kamai, however you say that. God of the Forest and gold on cams and woodcutters would actually not be bad. We have a lot of vegetated tiles. We're already making 25 gold per turn due to the Queen's jewelry. Getting +4 gold on natural wonders. That, like, I don't think an extra 12 gold is really worth it. But this could easily be like 1, 2, 3, like, oh, this won't be 1, 2, 3. Actually, we're building over a lot of this vegetation. I don't think it counts these because these aren't woodcutters or camps. They're expedition bases. So then we move out of the forge plus 10% production towards buildings. Again, it's not a bad one. Production is king, as I've said, and this creates. You're gonna build an altar almost definitely. I'm not sure how to evaluate it. Can we check how much the academy costs? This is the height. This is the final tier. Science building. It costs 195. Production. 10% production bonus. I don't know why I needed to check that. I didn't. It means if we're making 21 production, it's an extra 2 production towards it. That's not great. If we're making 30 or 40, it's an extra 3 or 4 production, which is not bad. That's not bad. 3 or 4, 1 or 2 is, 1 is not great. 2 is pretty decent. But by the time we're getting 30 or 40 production, it's because we've already built production buildings. This might be sneakily really good. I think we're on this. We're gonna have so much science production because we're gonna have the academy. Yeah, we're gonna have a +3 science building, and we're gonna have our unique science building. It might actually be overkill to go for this, but I say let's go for it. Let's get all the science. For production, we're gonna build an altar. The question becomes, I think we said we were gonna build it here, right? This is why I need map pins. So badly need map pins. Science, culture, unique, not science, culture, happiness, unique, science, production. So this needs to be a warehouse or something, an altar. This could be a fishing quay. I don't even know if I want to build a fishing quay here. It could be a +2 lighthouse. We might just take one less adjacency, because if we got to here, this would be a +4 market or gardens, because there's 3 coastal tiles adjacent. There's only 3 here, but getting to this tile is kind of hard. We have to go warehouse, warehouse, go. I am on do this. So we want to be a little bit careful how we approach them. We're gonna place this guy like, oh, we're gonna place him with the settlement because I think Napoleon is gonna get pissed as we start walking in this direction. Nothing here. We'll bring this guy back. Let's go to next turn. Yeah, we don't want to get too close. Can I disperse this? Because we're gonna... Oh, there's so many units here. This was a mistake. I shouldn't die because he can't hit me, and I do have some combat strength. And I got good vision. I was wondering if I could... Well, let's go fight this guy. Yeah, we need fast movement like we had in Civ 6. Yeah, hopefully that guy doesn't die. Yeah, we have a movement left, but yeah, I'm definitely not using it to hit them. Well, it's a stalemate. We do have the same. Yeah, we should definitely be fine. I forgot. Okay, no, oh, and he can come hit me. Yikes. Navigable River's OP. Yeah, let's back up here. Let's come in here. We need to heal you up. So I feel like we need to grab sailing. I really don't want to grab sailing. But like, we want to explore over here. We can explore over here if we grab sailing. We can explore up here if we grab sailing. We can explore down here safer with sailing. I really don't want to grab sailing this early though. I'd really rather grab pottery to go to writing. Oh, well, I'm gonna grab that for now. 3 turns from the altar, and then we're gonna smash down our monument here. I don't know if there's scaling costs like in Civ 6, but we're gonna just plop it down and we have to decision. I think we can delay. I think getting the monument going first is more important than the altar. It gives culture, which will help us get our unique thing. It gives influence, which is a highly sought after resource. Speaking of, we actually have enough resource where we can offer a endeavor. And if I recently learned this, your endeavors, and I can't show it because for some reason it doesn't tell you, but each leader has like their 2 types when you lock them in. Like Isabella is probably economic and expansionist, and the reason I say that is because when I go to offer, pushing all the wrong button, an endeavor, I have access to, everyone has access to send aid and reconciliation, And then you have access to 2 other endeavors depending on what your types are. So because Isabella is an economic leader, I have open markets where we can trade gold, and because she's an expansionist leader, I think I get farmer's market. You notice Napoleon offered me a cultural exchange and a military aid. That means he is a culture military leader. Hamiko hasn't offered me anything. I don't know what she is. She's probably cultural something. So that's how that works. So we're in a celebration. There's not a wonder we're going for. We're going to grab the culture. We were at 8. We're super rich. This is 4 gold. This is 2 more culture, plus a 20% bonus, which is like 0.2 or something like that. 0.4. Extra culture. Gold is really good, so let's just really hone in on that culture. Really try to get this down. Let's go ahead and go to next turn. We have a very unfortunate. We could take a hit. Let's go ahead and come here. Let's just rest till we're healed. Alright, grow time. Grow your boat. I think I'm just going to take this to production. We are building over this eventually, but we'll just displace it somewhere else. This is a 3 production tile. And give it 1, 2, 3. We don't have access to this tile. I just now noticed this is a better spot for like a production building. So we might be putting the production building here. I think we're still putting our unique quarter here. Because we could place it here instead. It's adjacent to 2 either way, because this is science, this is happiness. We probably, oh yeah, no, we needed to play this with the monument there. Do we value the extra culture? We have a lot of buildings to build. I think I value 4 turns on the monument, 7 turns until we're done. Yeah, we don't need more culture. We need more production. So the math I did there is I said I have 7 more turns of building I could do. Now down to 5 after that plus 3 production. And in 5 turns I'll unlock the next building I want. So I focused on production because it was going to be 7 turns instead of the culture. Because I had stuff to build, I didn't need to unlock more stuff to build. I needed to increase my speed at building things. I am walking to this tile because there is a potential galley here that could come up and shoot me. $34 damage. I thought the settler was able to walk here. So the settler takes the damage. We're going to throw some spears at him again. He could take another hit. Settlers are chunky in this game. I'm being denounced by Napoleon, which is just going to be all the more severe. I could reject it, which is really funny. This is just going to piss him off further because I'm going to be settling close to his capital. We have money, so let's come back. Does it tell me how many turns left? Oh, I just can't place one. We're going to be able to place some traps. We will get denounced. We're going to place some jaguar traps against him to oh, he is coming with a force. Okay, well, we have Chicken Itza. We're gonna kill that guy. He is probably declaring a surprise war on me. Let's go ahead and buy. Why can't I buy units? Oh, because I've moved my archer in. It's unfortunate. So yeah, I think I've seen this in every game I've played. It's extra production towards production. Wow, extra production towards production. Extra production towards buildings, and you can have it just in the capital and have a 15% bonus or 10% in all of them. I think it's better to distribute the power. The reason that is, if you, the game recommends a 1-to-1 town to city ratio, which I think talks about it here. Tip, aim to keep a 1-to-1 town to city ratio, which means if you're winning and doing well, snowballing at least decently, you'll probably have 3 or 4 cities. So that's 40% production towards buildings. And so that's why I think I like distributing the power. Yep. Okay, so let's just look. I want to look at this. Yeah, we placed it down and we immediately hit 2 citizens. Interesting. Wool is very strong, 2 happiness and 2 production. Let's go ahead and grab that. Also, we don't have open borders. It kicks them out farther. Super good. We will move this to the capital. I'm going to place a trap right here. We're going to move this guy out to here. We are going to purchase a warrior to have. Okay, so you'd be like, whoa, I should build the granary. An extra culture and an extra science. We get that bonus because the palace gets a +1 culture, +1 science bonus for adjacent quarters. Game doesn't tell you that anywhere, but it's true. So, and it gets, so by finishing this quarter, so quarter is 2 buildings in it, we get that bonus. We'll finish this quarter eventually anyways, we really don't want to put the granary there. We're going to keep on with our plan, we're going to finish that. We're going to divert this scout up here as well. I wanted to use it to explore down here, but this is spooky, what he's doing here. Let's get you all healed up. Let's bring this scout up. Let's get you healed up. I like I'm able to use these scouts as kind of like a combat buff. Like I'm going to be able to utilize them on the offense, which is pretty sweet. So I have the question of if I want to go over here towards the saws towards the salt and jade. Salt is not that good, jade's decent. This tile kind of sucks. This tile also sucks, but I do have to go get him eventually. Food is good. Like, this will eventually probably be a city. I just have a feeling it's got a lot of good stuff going for it. We'll grab that tile for now. You go here. I actually want you to be in here and then rest. Bring you along. I'm gonna actually spend some of my influence here, and I'm going to. Oh, I can't. What do you? This unit's on my border. What do you mean I can't do that? I should have been able to. Alright, we now get to choose another technology. I think we're going for writing here. Really try to snowball this science. Choose a civic. I think we need to come get our commander now. Especially with Napoleon denouncing me. Yeah, we can now build our Kuna. So it says base yield 4, but it's actually base yield 3. There's a bug. And the reason it's 5 here is because of, again, the building, because of the district bonus of the capital. We still, I think, want it here instead. We definitely do, because now we built the altar there. There was an argument for, I guess, this being where our unique unit, or a unique building goes now, because there's been one here, could have been one here, could have been one here. For a 1, 2, 3, like this is just going to have a 2 probably, but we've already locked in. We've already decided that that's what we're doing, so that's what we're doing. We're already making 19 science per turn. Hamiko is flying. Let's finish resting that Jaguar. Can I check? Oh, there's a Jaguar trap. So we're going to place another one here. For if or when he decides to attack me, we're going to have traps. So yeah, just be on the ready. Troops. Oh, that's a relatively annoying spot for a galley. Yep. Alrighty. So we're looking to go this way. Alright, we're right at the 1 hour mark. So I think we're gonna wrap this one up here in a second. We really want to go with these dates, these 2 dates. Let's grab this tile. Here's the one more turn problem. I don't want to stop. I really want to try to explore down here. We're gonna try to do something here. But alright, I like to stop when it says next turn. I've been Caleb. Thank you for watching. We got the start of a pretty good empire. We got our settlement limit. We're working on our first unique building. We've got a great, beautiful redwood forest world wonder as Isabella playing the Mayans. We got this. We got plans to get a nice little fishing village, town here. We're probably gonna upgrade this to a city. We got more room for a town or city over here. We're big vibing, and we are good. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.